Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue the same module, that is research skills, and the same chapter, that is chapter number 7, that is from the classroom. In the last class we have discussed, or we have finished with some activities of the classroom. Today I am going to continue with the appendix of this we can say the last class of this module, that is appendix of the research skills. So let's start with the previous class session, then move to the appendix, that is the last topic of this session. So let's start with the previous class session. So in the last class we have started with the various activity, that is sample number 4, that is sample 4 division number 5, that is from the classroom of James Knoll, that is a science teacher, and Diane Antony, librarian at the Don Code Junior High Education. So this is a sample activity that is presented from the classroom. We have discussed some activities. Now I am moving towards to the appendix, that is the last part of this module. So let's begin with this activity. Hello. Yeah, are you able to hear me? Okay, all right. So this is one of the sample activity that is created, or this is a sample number 4, that is the division 3, that is from the classroom of James Newell, that is science teacher and the teacher librarian, that is available, that our 20 years of experience, that our sample number 4. And there are various stages in this one. The stage number 1 is the planning, that is for the 2 days. The unit, the history of the earth, was taught in a class, but with the student were told a library project that will be concluding the activities. So there are various activity, and the main topic is on the science, and subject is a science, and the grade is the 8 that is available. And then information retrieval, so that is the stage number 2, that is how we can, or how the joule increases or retrieve the information, that is the information retrieval, that is also for the 2 days. Then information processing, that is for the 3 days. Then a student choose their own strategy that is used to select, evaluate, organize, and record the information. Then after the information processing, the next part, that is the stage number 4, is the information sharing. That is how they are sharing the information to the class by using the videotapes, by using the projectors, by using the puppet show, anything they are taking out, but they have to share the information, that is the information sharing. Then stage number 5 is the evaluation. The students as a audience wrote the responses to the class presentation. So they wrote the response to the class presentation for evaluating the thing, that is the stage number 5, that is the evaluation. So the students use these responses to reflect on their experiences, that is how they experience on this one. And student also provided the teachers and the teacher librarian with their own assessment categories, that is based on the evaluation criteria method that is used over here, that is the evaluation. That is the stage number 5. Then next sample is the sample number 5, that is the sample number 5, that is the division number 4, that is from the classroom of Ed Somerville, who had 15 years of teaching experience and is currently working as a teacher librarian and social studies teacher that have 30 years of experience, that is available over here. So this is the Adam Somerville that have 15 years of experience, and the topic that is taken out as a population and the resource distribution in third world countries. That means population and the resource distribution in the third world country, that is available. And the subject that is available is the SST, that is the social studies 20, and the grade that is available is the 11, and the number of students is 30. Then the time is 3 to 4 class period, that is 80 minutes per period. That is the number of students that is available, and the time is also available. So the main subject is the SST, and the topic is population and the resource distribution in third world countries. Now, what is the main objective? The students will develop a strategy that will allow to identify and define a problem of population and inadequate resource distribution in a third world country. That means student will develop a strategy, that which strategy they are using, they will allow them to identify and define a problem, that is how they are gathering the information, what objective they are attaining, that defines a problem of population and or inadequate resource distribution in a third world country, and they will be able to suggest the possible solutions to the problem identified. And the level that is used is all the levels, and the research stages that is used is on the all emphasis on the information processing. That is, the stage is available at all the stages, or this information is available at all the stages, but the main focus is on the information processing. So these are the various stages. The stage number 1 is the planning, that is for the 1 day, and this activity was cooperatively planned by the teacher, librarian, and the teacher. That is the planning purpose, that is for the planning purpose, that is the stage number 1, that is the planning. So this activity was cooperatively planned by the teacher, librarian, and the teacher. The subject teacher was responsible for the pre-research phase of this unit and discussed the curriculum goals of the unit with the students. So this is the responsibility of the subject teacher to use the pre-research phase of the unit and discuss the curriculum goals. What is the curriculum goals of the unit with the students? That is the stage number 1, that is the planning. The teacher provided student with an outline of the requirement of the assignment, options available, and described the method of evaluating. That is the stage number 5. In the planning phase, the student or the teacher also guided the student, that is how they are providing the outline of the assignment with the options available and describes the method of evaluating the unit. The research phase of the assignment was described and the teacher librarian input and participation in the teaching and evaluation of the unit were explained. During this pre-research stage, the subject teacher defined the essay question. So during this, the subject teacher defines the essay questions and identifying the problem to be solved. So whatever the problem they have solved the problem during the pre-research stage also. That is covered under the planning. The students are expected to check with the teachers and the teacher librarian the feedback as they progress through each step in the assignment. By getting the checklist, that is complete a formal written paper and the outline. So these are the various activities that is carried out in the information or planning. The next is the information retrieval, that is also for the one day. Students retrieve the information for their processing, that is the information retrieval. Then the stage number 3 is the processing, then sharing, then evaluation. That means this topic also includes the 5 stages. Then this is the sample number 6, that is the division number 4. That is from the classroom of John Phillips, that is the teacher librarian, and the Claire Dawn, that is the English teacher, that is you, or that has 19 years of teaching experience, and the topic that is taken out from the English, and the topic is live from Hollywood, and the subject is the English. Grade is 11, number of students is 25, time is 1 week. Now what is the main objective? To have a students research a poet's life and work to present the information in the form of a TV interview. That is the main objective. So to have a student's research in a poet information in a poet life, that is what is the student research in the poet life, and how to present that information in the form of the TV interview. And the level that is used is the all the level, and the research stages are the. So stage number 1, that is the planning, that is only for the one day. So students were introduced to a wide range of Canadian poets and poetry, and techniques of interviewing seen on various TV shows were then discussed. That is stage number 1, that is the planning. So that is the planning phase that is carried out within the stage number 1, that is the activity of the stage number 1. And the criteria includes the interview techniques, interview content. Then next stage is the stage number 2, that is the information retrieval, that is also for the one day. So students use the videos, books, anthologies, vertical files, etc. to locate the information about and by their post. That is stage number 2, that is the information retrieval, that is only for the one day, in which the student use the videos, books, anthologies, vertical files to locate the information about and by their poet. And they selected two or more or two or three poems to discuss in the interview. That is, they gather the information by selecting into the information, they retrieve the information to discuss into the interviews. Then stage number 3 is the information processing, that is stage number 3. That is the information processing, how the information will be processed. So for the script development, student use the bibliographic information and try to make the interview as authentic as possible by including the information about the poet personality, temperament, and the appearance. So that is the information processing, and each pair decided on their interview format, that is decided by the information that is decided by the interview format and the content of the interview, and each pair was responsible for rehearsal on their own time. That is how they process the information, or the how the information will be processed by the different interviewers. Then the next is information sharing, that is also for the 3 days. That is every load 2-minute interview was video tapped and evaluated by the teacher, teacher librarian, and the 3 students. Then last stage is the stage number 5, that is evaluation, that includes the student indicated areas of the research most and the least effective. That is, what is the most effective area and what is the most least area. Now come to the appendix. Now all the activities are finished. Now only the appendix part is left, that is what are the various stages and how these are the various groups that is carried out within the stage. So that is appendix part. So next is the next is the page that shows the appendix, that is appendix of this chapter or this module, that is the last of this module, that is appendix. In this there are multiple copy read forms that is available that explain about the first of all overview of the research skill continuum, that is what is the research skills continuum, then teacher's guide for planning research, that means there is a teacher guide that is also available for the planning the research, that is a checklist that is available. Then research activity unit plan, that is the next part. Then student research plan, then group effectiveness appraisal, then student self evaluation, then peer evaluation, that is the oral presentation speeches. So these are the copy ready forms, that is they are already built form, we can say the automated form that is available, that is a part of the appendix that we are going to study within this appendix form, that is the last of this module, that is the research skills, right? So let's start with the overview of the research skill continuum. That is the first part. That is the overview of the research skill continuum. There are multiple stages. There are multiple scales. Again, the recall back to the first or the second chapter we have studied in detail. That is in stage number 1. That is a planning. The main skills that is required is establishing the topic. Then next skill that is required is identify the information sources. So first stage that includes the planning, that includes the skill that is establishing the topic. So first of all in the planning phase we have to establish the topic. Then second skill that is required, that is identify the information sources, that is identify what are the various information sources that is required, that is identify the information sources. Then identify the audience and the presentation format, that is what are the types of audience, what their knowledge, what their presentation format that is available, that is identify the audience and the presentation format. Then establish the evaluation criteria, that is what is the evaluation criteria and how it is used, that is the stage number 1, that is the planning. So establishing the evaluation criteria. The next is the review process, that is review the various terms, review the various stages, that is the planning stage, that is whatever review that is taken out, that is a part of the planning, that is a part of the stage number 1, that is the planning. So that is the planning, that is the first stage that identifies various skills like establish topic, then identify the information sources, then identify the audience and the presentation format, then establish the evaluation criteria, then review process. This is the first stage, that is the stage number 1, and these are the various skills that is required. Then the next stage is the information retrieval, that includes 3 skills. One is the locate resources, then collect resources, and review process. That means review process is included in each and every phase, every stage. That is locate the resources where the resources are available, then collect the resources. So first of all we the retrieving the information, first of all the student or the teacher locate the resources where the resources are available, then collect the resources in the form of the information. That the locate resources and the collect resources. Then next is the information processing, that includes various processes or that is required, that is choose the relevant information, that is what is the relevant information, then choose the information or evaluate the information. So first of all choose the relevant information what is required, then evaluate the information, then organize and record the information, then make the connections and the inferences. So these are the various points that is covered under the information processing. The first is choose the relevant information, whether the relevant information is available or not, then evaluate the information that is required, that is evaluating the information, then organize and record the information, that is how to organize and how to maintain or how to record the information, then make connections and the inferences, that is make the connection whether the make the connections and the inferences among the data, then create the product, that is creating the product among the processing, then revise and edit, that is the information processing part, that is revise and edit the content, then there is a review process. These are the information processing part that is taken out. So choose the relevant information, evaluate information, organize information, make the connections, then create the product, then revise and the update, and at last there is a review process, that is a end of the these parts, that is the end of the part, that is a part of the skills. Then in the information sharing, present the findings, that means whatever the finding that is presentable to other audience, that the information will be shared. So this is one of the skill that is most important for creating the research skill, that is present the findings. Then demonstrate the appropriate audience behavior, that is what is the appropriate audience behavior. So demonstrate them, we can say display the appropriate audience behavior, that is the information sharing. Then there is a review process. Then in the evaluation, the first part is evaluate the product, then evaluate the research procedures and the skills, then review process, that is a part of the evaluation. So first of all, evaluate the product, whether the product is correct or not, that is evaluating the product. Then evaluate the research and procedures and the skills, then there is a review process. Now, this is the, we can say, the overview of the research skills continuum, that is what are the various skills that is required for the research. Now, next is teacher guide for the planning research, that is what is the teacher guide, that is a checklist, the guidelines and the consideration, the assignment, curriculum fit, format, research procedure, evaluation, that includes the purpose, to introduce, to review, to expand the knowledge and the information, to focus. So these are the evaluation parts, that is a part of the guidelines and the consideration. Then the students, this is from the assignment point of view, this is from the student point of view. So this is related to the assignment, this is related to the students. That is ability and stage of the development, then learning preferences, then social grouping. So these are the three parts. First of all, that is ability and the stage of development, learning preferences, social grouping, then cooperative learning skill, that is a part, or that is a used with the students profile, with the students guidelines. The next is the resources, that is what are the various resources that is available. That includes, first part is the school library, then other libraries, that includes the teacher librarian, other resource people, then community, then other. So these are the various resources. So first is the assignment, then next is the students, then next is the resources. So these are the three parts of the guideline and the consideration, that is what are the various guidelines and the consideration that is carried out. The next is the goals. So first part is the guidelines, that is the A part, that is the guidelines and the consideration. The next part is the goals. So we can set the goals, that is the concept, to apply or practice research procedure, that is what is the research procedure that is carried out with the various concepts to improve the decision making ability, that is the main goal. Then what are the skills required to plan out the research or to plan for the research, to work in a variety of social situations, that is a skill that is required to work in a variety of social situations. Then attitudes, to develop an appreciation for knowledge and the culture, to recognize that a variety of opinion exists, to develop the cooperative learning skills, to experience the pride in creating a product. That is the attitude that is, we can say, need in the goals, that is required in the goals as a planning research checklist, whether that goal attitude is available or not. The next is research activity unit plan. That is a research activity unit plan. So this is a subject unit or subject oblique unit. What is the name of the subject? Then theme, that is the theme of the object. Then timeline, that is the timeline of the object. Then grade, that is the grade of the object. So one is the subject, then theme, then timeline, then grade. And this is a activity plan, this is a table chart that is available, that is the stages, then time, then strategies, then resources. These are the four parts, that is the stages, then time, then strategies, then resources. The stage number one, that is the planning, that includes the 5 parts or 5 processes, that is establish the topic, then identify the information resources, then identify the audience and the presentation format, then establish the evaluation criteria, then review process. So these are the 5 parts, 5 stages that is available, that is A, B, C, D, E. Then next is the information retrieval. So first is the planning, then next is information retrieval, that includes locate resources, collect resources, review process. So these are the 5 parts that is available. Then next is the information retrieval, that includes locate, collect, and the review process. That is stage number 2. So stage number 1 is the planning, stage number 2 is the information retrieval. The next stage, that is the stage number 3, that is the information processing. How we are going to process the information, that is stage number 3, that also includes relevant skills. So this is a table that shows what is the research activity unit plan that is considered under the research skills activity. So this is the name of the subject that is carried out, what is the name, then what is the theme, timeline, grade, and this is the for the each stage, what is the timing that is required, what are the various strategies that is followed among each other, what are the various resources that is required for making this activity. So for establishing the topic, what are the various resources that is required. Then stage number 3 is the information processing. So choose the relevant information, evaluate information, organize and record information, make the connections and the inferences, and create the product. So these are the 5 major points that is covered under the information processing. Then next is the information sharing, that includes the present the finding, that is what are the various findings, that demonstrate the appropriate audience behavior, that is there should be appropriate audience behavior among the sharing the information. Then there is a review process. Then stage number 5 is the evaluation. That is how you evaluate the product by taking the 5 features by 5 points, that is evaluate the product, evaluate the research procedures and the skills, and there is a review process. So this is the stage number 5 products, that is the 3 products are available, that is evaluate, review. Next part is the student research plan, that is the stage number 1, planning. So this is the research activity plan that is available. So this is the research activity unit plan. Now next is the student point of view, that is the student research plan, that is stage number 1. This is, we can say, the format that is given, the name, then subject, then grade, then theme. Now first is establishing the topic. Now what are the topic statement that is available. Now what are the various subtopics that is covered under the main topic. Then next is the subject heading. So what are the various headings that is available, that is known as the subject headings. That is for the first part, that is identify or establish the topic. Then identify the information sources, that is what are the various information sources that is available. So what are the various resources that is required for identifying the information resources, that is the resources are available. Then identify the audience and the presentation format, that is what type of audience are there and what type of presentation format are available, that is identify the audience and the presentation format. So that is the presentation format and the needs, and there is the audience. The next part is establish evaluation criteria. That is what is the evaluation criteria. So how we are going to establish the evaluation. So what are the various criteria that is follows. So first is the guidelines, that is the guidelines of this one. Then there is a evaluation. So first is the guideline that is available, then there is a evaluation, then there is a timeline. That is guidelines, evaluation, timeline, then checked and approved, whether this is checked and approved or not. So this is the one of the activity, that is a student research plan, that is the stage number 1, planning. Now next is group effectiveness appraisal, that is the name, then group, then title, audience. Now we can group, or we can give the grouping, or we can give the appraisal, we can group the title, we can give the rating, that is the name, then there is a group, then there is a project title. So rate your group on a 1 to 5 basis, that is the 1 is poor, then 2 fair, then 3 good, then 4 very good, then 5 is excellent. So these are the 5 parts. Either you can opt for the poor, fair, good, very good, excellent. So we worked cooperatively with all group members, 1 2 3 4 5. We accomplished what we set out to complete, 1 2 3 4 5. We were satisfied with the performance of the group task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the various rating, and this is the task. Well, if the task is fulfilled, so give the rating as a 3, 4, 5, any rating that is accomplished. Then fourth is we used our group time efficiently without wasting or misusing the time. That includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we all contribute fairly in the completion of this group task. That is, we all contributed. What is the main completion in this task? That is also included from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is a rating from the 1 to the 5. That is from the poor to the excellent. The next is the personal assessment and the observation. That is, what are the various personal assessments that is available? What are the various observations, that is personal observations? So first is, did you feel satisfied with your own participation in the project? So did you feel satisfied? Whether you are satisfied with the participation in the project? Discuss your feelings honestly. So discuss your feelings in an honest way. That is a personal assessment. Then, do you think that the project participation was fairly equal? That is, do you feel others in your group worked well and contributed fairly? That is a project participation that is used. Then, do you think there are some ways your group could have improved and therefore produce a better finished product? This is also one of the activities. So discuss your feeling, or you can write the personal assessment and the observation technique. That is, whether you are satisfied with the content. Then do you like doing a project like this? So if the other project also come, do you really like to do this, or do you honestly prefer to work on your own? Please answer explaining why or why not. If you are yes, doing the another project also, then why yes? Then if you are not doing other project, then why not? Please add any helpful comment, any comment that you want that is available with this one. Now, from the writing process, using the word processor, service leader, reference manual, plethora, this one, this one, this one. This is the form that is a group effectiveness appraisal. Now next is a student appraisal or student self-evaluation, and this is for the student itself. So they are evaluating whether they are really satisfied with the student or not. That is the first part, that is using my planning skills. That is the first part. That first topic is I understand the topic very easily with difficulty. So I understand the topic very easily, either easily or with the difficulty. That is the first part. Then I made up the research questions very easily with difficulty. I suggested the possible information sources easily, difficult, or very easily. These are the various questions as per my requirement to myself only. Then using my information retrieval, identifying the sources of information in the school, in the community, using my information processing skills, gather the information, discover the information, answer the question. Using my information sharing, I present my research to the other persons or on with other persons, yes or no, using my evaluation criteria. That is for the yourself. Then peer evaluation, that is from the colleague to colleague, they are evaluating, giving an interesting introduction. 3, 2, 1, yes, very good, satisfactory, and the poor. Whether your peers, whether your colleagues present the information in a correct way, whether your peer presenting the clear explanation of the topic, whether your peer present the information in acceptable order, whether your peer use the complete sentences, that does not mean that they use the incomplete sentences. Then whether the peers offered a concluding summary or not, whether the peers spoke clearly, correctly, distinctly, and confidently, then whether the peers maintained the eye contact or not, then maintain the acceptable posture or not. Then use the audio visual aids well, that is whether the presenter or the peer while sharing the information they presented in the effective manner using the audio video aids or audio video channels. Then handle the question and the comment from the class very well, that is handle the question and the answers or question and the comment from the class very well. This this is the peer evaluation, that is with the peer levels. Now next part is the references of this book, that is the winding up of this one. The next is the references, then next is finish, this is 88 page, that is finished one. Alright, so we have finished this module successfully. Now listen carefully. This module has been finished, that is the module is research skills. From tomorrow onwards, that is from the Wednesday, tomorrow, that is 16th of December, we are going to start with the new module, that is a part of the office development or office solution development. The name of the module is office solutions development. We will be carrying out that module in the tomorrow's class. So that's all for today's session, and that's all for this module also. And if there is any doubts in this module, you can ask the doubts from me. So thanks a lot everyone, and bye bye. We will meet tomorrow with the new module, that is office solution development. Alright, thanks a lot everyone, bye bye. And yeah, one more important thing, if there is any doubts regarding the anything regarding the assignment of the previous that I have given, whether the written assignment, whether the any topic that is difficulty in any of the topic, research skill, object oriented, and any of the Edexcel